Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity Jackson, Wendy Clow. Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Big week last week.
It was. It
What
was a real
happened?
big week. We did a home dedication for our most recent two completed houses. These are the two on West Franklin behind the YMCA.
That was the most popular story on our website in like the last 40 days. It's amazing the amount of people that reacted to that, and really I think we're moved by it.
So what I noticed yesterday, I didn't see it until yesterday, that Habitat International, our home office, picked it up and published it on their social media stuff as well. So that's pretty cool when, you know, they've got a couple thousand local affiliates that that are out there in the country, and they picked up your story about our event. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's neat to see the actual families that are going to be moving into these homes, and they are probably the most excited people at this groundbreaking, and quite willing to share that this is, you know, part of their the results of a lot of their hard work.
The two that you see on the screen right now are the two homeowners, the two different home buyers, and they are buying houses right next door to each other.
That's cool.
So they helped to, they worked on each other's houses as they were being built, and they've been just kind of following along the whole process together. And so they've been, you know, they're going to be neighbors, they're becoming friends, and the next two houses that are going up beside it, those home buyers have also been helping. So the four of them are getting to know each other already, and they're going to be neighbors for a long time.
And the purchasers, they do put in a minimum of 300 hours, and that's a lot of work, volunteer time. So you're literally building your own house.
Yes, they are, and both of these, well, I think all four, almost three of the four of these buyers are all single parents, and they have one or two jobs, and then they also have to fit in 300 hours, excuse me, of volunteer time, where some of those, or quite a few of those, should be helping to build their own house and supporting the volunteers that are working on their houses. So they're very fully invested in their home ownership.
One of the questions that was popping up in the social media response was, how do I get one of these houses?
Our phones have been ringing a little bit more this week. So it's a long process, and we talked a little bit about that on the dedication ceremony, but both LaToya and Jamie, who are buying these two houses, have been working with us for nearly 2 years. They started out doing financial counseling so that they could become ready to be a homeowner. I mean, it's a whole different thing to be a homeowner versus being a renter. And there's a lot of education and a lot of coaching that we do ahead of time prior to even getting them matched up with what could be their house. And so then when they're finally ready, then it could take another year or 8 months, 10 months, whatever it is, to actually build the house. So they work through all of that. That time.
Is there an application process that people go through online to be considered?
We do have the application online, but it's not fillable online right now, so you would have to print it out and bring it in. We kind of prefer that anyway, because we like to be able to talk to them before they enter the program, because people don't understand what it takes to become a Habitat home buyer. So we like to sit down and do sort of an orientation with them and explain what the process is. And there are income guideline qualifications, so you have to be under a certain income for your household. And so that's the first thing that we look at to qualify someone. And then if they qualify that way, then we can start them through the process.
Now, this is the second home in the DeLand Project neighborhood. Talk a little bit about what that neighborhood is.
It's a series of lots that were vacant for a while after the city demolished some blighted homes that were there. And the city was very interested in making sure that they put up new affordable homes in that area. So we worked with them on that. Prior to COVID, the project was going to be quite a bit more extensive, and we've scaled it back to be, it's going to be fewer homes on it, but that's okay. It's still a big impact for the community. A lot of that had to do with prices for construction and the infrastructure that it would have taken for what we had planned before. But yeah, so there's 4 houses there on West Franklin that will be, we call it the DeLand depending on how you say it, because of the historical significance of that area from the DeLand family.
Yeah, the DeLand Point, one of the historical locations in Jackson where the Underground Railroad operated. And luckily we have Linda Haas and the Jackson County, Michigan Historical Society has really unearthed this history that was hidden for so long.
Yes. Yeah, it was actually one of our prior board members that came up with that's what we should call the project, because she did that research and figured out that that's where that homestead was. And then when we published that that's what we were going to call it, Linda, she picked up on it and she called us and took off running with it. So we're pretty proud of that, actually. Yeah.
Do you already have the next two homeowners selected?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. They've been working hard. They've actually, the one that's going in right next door to right next to the second one is going to be owned by a single father of 5 children.
Oh, wow.
And he has been extremely engaged, super excited. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be talking to him this afternoon because we're talking about some next steps. But he's been out working on these other 2 houses as much as he could.
Wow.
Yeah, he's probably already got his sweat equity requirements done because he's that excited about it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
A lot of volunteers besides the homeowners participate in these builds.
Yeah, I mean, with these 2, we called it a blitz build last year. I was here talking about that then last August, and we had nearly 150 volunteers throughout the week putting up the walls and actually getting the house framed in, both of the houses framed in. So the houses went from foundation to fully enclosed homes in a week,
That's
2 of
amazing.
them. And then from then until now, we've been using our regular volunteer crews as well as some groups from companies that have come out and help to get it finished.
It's going to be nice. The neighborhood really is changing in addition to those new homes.
Yes.
The Y building across the street, and there have been several other homes that have either been improved or built from scratch in that Partnership Park, DeLand Point area.
Yeah, and that's really important because the further out we can, from downtown, that we can extend the good things, bringing up the neighborhoods and creating stability and housing in those areas, the better it's going to be for everybody living there. There's, probably a good mix of rentals and home ownership in that area, but I think that the people that own their homes, they take pride in their houses and they take pride in their neighborhood, and they're coming together, and it really does bring everything up.
Yeah, you notice when new things get built, everyone does a better job of taking care of their own, and you've really noticed that in that neighborhood. So it's coming along really well.
Yeah, yeah.
And Wendy's husband, Scott Clow, is the Grand Marshal of the Rose Parade.
That's right. I didn't recognize him.
Did that go to his head?
I don't know. I think he's kind of immune to that at this point. he enjoys entertaining, and that's what he does best.
We appreciate all the work you've done on this project, and I know in addition to the 2 years the homeowners have been involved, it goes back even further, acquiring the land and getting the grants and all the work you've done. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Wendy Clow, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity Jackson. Believe the Hype is